Who is the most famous actress you can think of?
Actress? Drew Barrymore.
Okay, if Drew Barrymore was in a movie with a male co-star that nobody had heard of, would it be fair to pay them the same salary?
No.
Why not?
Because he's not, like, known of, and because he didn't, like, work to be famous, like,
Gotcha, bitch.
she did.
Okay, since Drew is the star of the movie, won't she bring more people to the theater than her co-star?
Yes.
Okay, that's called star power. How is that different than the gender pay gap?
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a loaded one.
Did you hear what she said? That's a loaded one.
Yeah.
When somebody says, oh, that's a loaded question, translation, what you just asked me makes way too much sense, and I don't have an argument.
Like, for women or for, like...
Oh, here we go.
The WNBA complains about not being paid the same to the NBA, and they don't generate as much revenue. So, I mean, isn't that kind of like the same thing?
No, it's exactly the same thing. If Drew Barrymore's co-star is not the main reason that they are there at the movies, then it should stand to reason that the co-star doesn't make as much. This is how it works.
Well, does the director make as much as the gaff?
Don't do that. We don't want to get too far in the weeds. We're just talking about. You're right, but we don't want to get too far in the weeds. This is Drew Barrymore versus unknown star. J Blaze 11 says, was this 15 years ago? Yeah, right.
I feel like the WNBA
Merch.
isn't promoted as much as the NBA because they are women.
No, the WNBA isn't promoted as much because nobody watches.
Right, but I mean, wouldn't a male co-star that no one's ever heard of not be promoted as much and not be able to?
Yeah, I guess.
So is that comparable?
Yep.
Maybe, sure.
I mean, wouldn't it have more to do with
Look at her face. Look, she knows she's got.
Yeah.
She knows she's got.
performance than discrimination?
I don't know. You're like hitting me. I wasn't ready.
Dude, again, did you hear what he just asked her? She's like, oh, I wasn't ready. These are reasonable, rational questions.
Mm-hmm.
She knows he's just proved the point. That's why she's like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah.
I don't know.
You're right about that one, but I just feel like
If they both doing the same
Same
job,
thing,
they deserve
then
the
they
same
should.
pay. It doesn't matter.
Okay, but at the same time, then why would someone want to star in their movie?
I mean,
This is great.
What would be the benefit of having a celebrity in your movie if they weren't gonna?
I love these girls. These girls are funny because you can see the gears turning.
Bring more people to the theater.
I mean,
right.
but
That makes sense, but
I mean, they're both doing the same job, but don't they have different value to the project?
yeah, but I feel
yeah,
like
you're right.
So
See,
so shouldn't their pay,
See, I feel like-
reflect the value that they're bringing to the movie?
yeah, I agree with that. I feel like it depends on what part you play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't that completely disprove the gender pay gap right there?
yeah.
They're like, yeah, it kind of does.
You have two actors who are basically both starring and doing this.
So you can look at this bitch's face already. You can look at this bitch's. I'm saying,
She looks very agreeable.
Yeah, she looks totally agreeable. They've all got nose rings. She's got a ring in each nostril. Her friend's got the bull ring. The other one, I don't know what the hell's going on, but she looks like she's going to try to outsmart you.
Same job, but they have different value because one is a celebrity and the other one's an unknown.
And you're saying with the basketball?
Well, what I'm saying is when it comes to basketball, right? Yeah. A lot of women say that the WNBA should be paid the same as the NBA, but
Yeah, they
don't.
should.
But
Yeah, they should.
they don't generate the same revenue.
Uh-oh.
So isn't that kind of like the same analogy as the celebrity getting paid more than the no-name actor?
Uh-huh.
In some respect, but
Yeah, that's affirmative, sweetheart. Do you see how they can never just say, yes, you're right? No, she says in some respects.
at the end of the day, I would say to advertise them more. In all respect, if we look at Nike, if we look at Adidas, who do we see? Like, we mostly see male,
No, we don't. We see Nike, Adidas, we see them advertising females more than men. And look at her searching for the answers.
Yeah.
athletes. I'm trying to make a pose. Models.
But even if you advertise something more, does that necessarily mean that you're going to have more success? I mean, there's tons of businesses that fail.
But there's a ton that make it, and it's by advertising.
Acting requires you to act, put a little bit more work into it.
Okay.
What is happening here?
Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. So how much do you think that hairdo is? Dollar a pound?
Pound, 7.
Yeah, that's a $7 hairdo. So she's got a $7 hairdo, right? She's got the little ringlets because that's what's in. I've even got a few of those. Actually got a couple of them in Vegas where they are.
Some hookah shells.
Yeah. And then of course her chest area makes me hungry for pancakes. Actually. Yeah. Yes. Oh boy.
Actually read a script, right? Read a script, do all these things that NBA players don't have to really do. They just practice and so you can't compare.
They just practice. Oh.
And what, memorize plays? Watch film?
If you're absolutely right. If it was so easy, then everybody would do it.
Of course.
I remember I got into an argument with a girl I worked with when I was living in Vegas. She's like, I don't know why I think Ben Roethlisberger had just signed a big deal. I don't know why they pay him so much just to throw a football. She said, and I said to her, well, you could be right, but how many people do you know can throw a football like Ben Roethlisberger? You know what she said? Crickets. And I told her, I said, any monkey can come in here and do my job. The more people that can perform your job at the level you perform it at, the less you stand to make. The less people that can perform your job, the more you stand to make. This is supply and demand. She didn't have a comeback after that.
Yeah.
Compare them. You can't compare the two.
Well, once again,
as far as the pay rate is concerned.
Well, once again, like I said, they're both,
Look, her friend wants no part of this. Look, her friend is like, keep me out of this.
I mean, they're both training. They're both basically, they're both doing, acting. Whether you're a male or a female actor, you're still basically, doing the same work. But they shouldn't be paid the same?
I don't know.
I'm just saying,
I'm over it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm over it.
Next question.
Next question. Yeah, they know their gut.
I don't think it's based off of discrimination. I think it's based.
Holy moly. Wow.
So Latinas.
Yeah, but dude, like, look, man. Like her genetics. All right, whatever.
Based off of how long you've been at your job, how well you are with your technique, and how good you are at what you do. I think that's what matters.
Do you think high-paid Hollywood actors should have their money redistributed so struggling actors can have a living wage?
Watch this.
No, those struggling actors need to work harder for their money if that's what they want.
Huh?
Okay.
How about that?
But it's funny how a lot of Hollywood actors often talk about, socialism.
Yeah, I see.
Uh-huh.
So,
see that?
okay.
See, that smile on her face knows that he just made a point.
How do you solve the gender pay gap?
There's not a gender pay gap. That's complete bullshit.
Oh, finally.
There has been some skepticism about the gender pay gap, equal pay for equal work. Do you believe the wage gap is due more to sexism or productivity?
I think it's sexism.
Oh.
Okay.
I think men get paid more.
Yep.
Okay.
It's got to be productivity.
Can you show
This is my guy right here.
me a job where the pay scale for men and women is different?
Watch.
Porn.
I knew he was going to say that.
He's at porn.
Okay.
And the reason why women make more in porn is because there's more of a... People don't watch porn for the men. They watch it for the women. Number one. Number two, every guy wants to be a porn star, okay? Very few women, relative to the number of men in the world, every man would be a porn star. A lot of men would be a porn star if they could. That number dwarfs in comparison to women. The vast majority of women would never, ever, ever be a spicy movie star. That's why they get paid more, because because they suffer the highest consequences, man. There's a higher price. There's a much higher price for a woman to be a porn star than it is for a man. That's why they get paid more.
Don't know.
Actors and actresses.
Oh yeah.
Hmm?
Actors and actresses. They'll be in the same movie.
Yep.
Doing the same amount of work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If the wage gap exists, then why would companies employ men when it would be cheaper to hire women?
Uh-oh. And that's really what this comes down to, Dev.
They want people to show up for work.
Well, yeah, if you want people to show up, hire women if you want them to show up for work. Yeah, good luck with that 30 days out of the month. That's the one thing that disproves the pay gap right there. If the pay gap really were real, if it were legal to pay women less than they pay men, then why wouldn't every company just hire a bunch of women? They don't, because there is no pay gap. And this is why we farm jobs out overseas, because people overseas work for less. That's why they take jobs overseas. They can't do that with people here because that's illegal.
Because companies can be sexist, and that's like the point. That's the
No,
problem.
no, that does not answer the question,
I think
sweetie.
she's on drugs.
Dude, every girl in Vegas is on
Look
drugs.
at her eyes.
Yeah, dude, every girl in Vegas is on something, dude.
Why would companies employ men when it would be cheaper to hire women?
He's
You
trying
know,
to-
that is a good one. Hold on.
He's like, hold up, let me see.
They probably wouldn't.
I mean, if women are capable of doing just as good a job and for less money, wouldn't it make sense for a company to hire all women?
I mean, yeah, if women were getting paid less, what is it, 70 cents on the dollar, yeah, companies would, find a good deal in that, yeah.
Right, but they don't. And the reason why they don't is because there's no pay gap.
Is there a wage gap or an earnings gap?
Ooh! Is there a wage gap or an earnings gap? That is the better question. There is definitely an earnings gap. There is not a wage gap. Wow.
It's got to be an earnings gap.
There it is.
If men earn more than women overall, could it possibly be because men typically choose higher paying jobs, more dangerous jobs, and work longer hours?
Yep, these are all facts. I work as a truck driver. I don't see clearly as many female truck drivers
There we go.
as I do male. It's a dangerous job. It's a
Look up the average salary of a truck driver, would you, Dev?
long job. You're driving for hours. Yeah, no.
Don't women generally choose lower paying fields like education and
This is
nursing
funny.
as opposed to math, science, and ditch digging
Yeah,
jobs?
more thinking more.
So wouldn't
Do you see her starting to turn the corner?
wouldn't their pay reflect that?
Yeah, women like to work with people. Men like to work with things.
That's right.
Don't
It
women
says,
also choose to take more time?
It says between 48 and 80 a year.
Okay, between $48,000 and $80,000 a year. This guy is awesome. Yeah, Jay Blaze says this guy is awesome. I love the way he formulates these questions.
Off to focus on friends and family, whereas men are more likely to be.
I'm going to rewind this.
Yeah, women like to work with people. Men like to work with things.
There you go.
Don't women also choose to take more time off to focus on friends and family, whereas men are more likely to be devoted to work?
I think, yeah, this is also another fact.
There it is.
Biology of life.
Women have to bury a child and they have to take maternity leave. So that's a very big
coming at
issue
you.
for most CEOs in the company because they can't really have that liability for
Anybody who fucks with her is probably going to be messing with the cousin of a blood or a crib, just saying.
an employee
better
to
check
take
your wallet.
Yeah, real talk. Like, dude, like this bitch looks like she'll cut you if you fuck with her. I wouldn't fuck with her.
leave for such a long time. And that's one of the biggest concerns for women being paid so low is because of their it all has to do with
But isn't that biology? And
yes, it has to do with biology. That's why we're
but
upset.
why should an employer be responsible?
Well, don't be mad at us. Don't be mad at the employer. Be mad at the creator, bitch.
For a woman's choice to have a kid.
They're not responsible, but it's just the basic ethics.
They're not responsible, but it's basic ethics. So okay, so now she wants to be quote unquote treated fairly. Your thoughts?
Women are the caregivers in the family.
Yes.
So whether it's funny because a lot of employers don't want to hire, or if they do hire young women, they get married, they have babies, they end up going somewhere else or taking time off of work. But the same thing also happens as women get older in the workplace, even when they're past childbearing age, because they are going to be expected to take care of their parents,
Yep.
their older siblings.
Yep.
Their as they age. So yeah, is there a page gap? No, there is an earnings gap. I would totally agree with that. And that's the way that it really should be, because we should be taking care of one another.
I agree. Jay Blaze 11 $2 super chat says, hey, could Casablanca be an option for an RP movie? I don't think so, but I'll take a look. I've seen it twice. But I'll check it again. Kamatsu Umi says, when promoting a single life, mainly towards females, create this delusion of independent bad B mindset, then cry about why they can't get a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Very, very well said.
It actually is illegal to discriminate pay based on gender. Why aren't more women filing class action lawsuits against companies that don't pay them equally?
Oh, this is
I
funny.
would say it's a lot easier to get another job. I mean, I'd love to say yeah, we're gonna fight for it, and we do, but to the extent of a lawsuit, I mean, get a new job.
Oh, I gotcha. So if it was really that much of a problem, why not fight it, right? If women really were earning less, why aren't there lawsuits all over the place all the time?
Don't people sue for discrimination all the time?
There it is.
Also, I feel like it's a lot harder for anybody to then go sue their job due to something that happened, knowing that they're going to go through all the legal fees. They have the possibility of not.
Oh, so once again, women want all the benefits without any of the cost.
The system is keeping us oppressed.
The system is keeping us oppressed. Yep. They want the discrimination without having to face the discrimination lawsuit.
Or you could unionize.
Yeah, good luck with that.
In that case, although they very much would have been discriminated against, there's not a high chance that they could win it. And if they do...
And why is there not a high chance they could win it, sweetheart? It's because there is no discrimination. Come on.
You get a payout, pays out through the staff, like things like that.
But even a class action lawsuit, I mean, if it was happening as frequently as you hear about it...
Yeah, Rebel 5150 says she gave up that mic quick. Did you see her? She said, here, you take it. I'm looking stupid.
You would think that companies would be sued all the time.
You would think, but I also don't think a lot of people are going to go through their time to sue a company knowing that it might be more repercussions to them in the end due to money and legal fees.
That makes no sense.
And all of that.
She's just running her mouth.
Yep.
I also just think
look, the girl in the middle, she doesn't want any part of this conversation
I think it's
anymore.
not talked about enough in the workplace. Like there's a large stigma around discussing your pay with your coworkers because what if you do make more than them?
Always an excuse. See all these excuses. Oh, pay gap. But then when the dude says, well, why aren't there more lawsuits? Now all of a sudden it's excuses as to why there aren't lawsuits being filed.
You're not supposed to talk about how much money you make.
Bitch, please.
Hey, like, why are you getting paid more than me? It's something that you don't generally talk about with your coworkers. Like, oh, by the way, I make this much a year, you know? I make this much per paycheck. It's not something that comes up in workplace conversation.
Can you tell me any jobs where the pay scale for men and women is different?
Not off the top of my head without...
I can.
Oh, look at this. Not up the top of my head without... Yeah, so if it were so prevalent, then why can't you think of it off the top of your head? Apparently, Miss Independent can.
Actors, I mean, broad amount of payment, but men are higher paid actors.
Why are...
No, that is incorrect. You are paid on your ability to act. Julia Roberts is going to command much more... a much higher salary than a random Tom Smith. Those are the facts.
Yeah. I mean, there's a draw. It's part of it's called marketing.
Yes, exactly.
Why are some industries dominated by men and others by women?
Oh. Dang, you know,
Look at your essay in the back.
don't know.
Oh, yeah, you see him peeping. Yeah, he's peeping it out.
Why are there
What's that? He's got like a Pepsi in his hand?
more female than male strippers and prostitutes?
Shh, wait, hold up, wait. What'd you say? What'd you say?
Dos Equis.
Oh,
What does that say about...
Dos Equis? You said Dos Equis?
Yeah, whatever it is.
You said Dos Equis. No, it's Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
By the way, fun fact, George Bruno was actually considered to be the most interesting man in the world. He finished third.
Wow.
Yes, he did. True story. True story.
Dang, you know,
Not off the top of my head without like...
I can. Actors, I mean, broad amount of payment, but men are higher paid actors.
And you
Why
know
are
this?
some industries dominated by men and others by women?
Uh-oh, here we go.
oh. Dang, you know, I don't know.
Why are there more female than male strippers and prostitutes? And what does that say about society?
The reason why there are more female strippers and prostitutes is because sex workers work for men. Women don't have to go out and buy sausage. Sausage gets thrown at them all the time. Men do not get sex as easily as women. That's why there are more women sex workers than men sex workers. Your thoughts?
Exactly. That doesn't need much explanation.
Okay, didn't think so.
That sex sells and,
This is my guy.
you know,
Yo,
the
look at the
female
essay
body
in
is
the
more
back. He's
pleasurable to
cracking
look
up.
at, I guess.
Would it be possible to sell sex if men did not sexually objectify women?
No. So I'm not complaining.
Oops. Uh-oh.
If I didn't
Uh-oh.
get objectified, I wouldn't get paid.
Real talk.
That's how people view women.
Okay. Why don't men complain about female strippers and prostitutes earning more than male ones?
That's a good question.
See that?
How much of our economy is driven by men buying things to please and impress women?
Yes.
Oh, that's man. It's got to be close to 100%, if not, you know, in the high 90s. You know.
The answer is yes.
Would you agree that most consumer spending is geared towards women?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the statistics are right. I think 86% of consumer base is women.
would you also agree that the media pushes a campaign of fear and consumption by exploiting men's need for female validation?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
look at dating websites. They're not there to find love. They're there to extract as much resources out of men as possible.
Don DeMarco, I've been saying this for years. Dating apps are not there to help people find love. They're there to make money. And because we know women aren't going to pay for access to men, the men are the ones who have to pay access for women. That's all there is to it.
So why is there so much talk about the exploitation of women, but we never talk about this exploitation of men?
It's like the society growing up thing, like, toughen up, young man, or, men don't cry or something like that. It's expected of men to front the bill.
Finally, why is there so much talk about a gender pay gap, but not a gender spend gap?
Ooh! Oh my God.
Wow. I sometimes I believe women want to be men in the sense of that they want the ambition, they want the drive that they have, they want the results, but results aren't given to everybody equally.
How should we determine which jobs are more valuable?
What's that?
They want the power
Yep.
without the responsibility.
There it is. There it is. Women want all the titles without the responsibility. This is a really good one right here.
It's about supply and demand when it comes to what's valuable. So
there it is.
If it's cracking, if it's a lot of people that want the business, whatever the job is offering, then it should pay more. Like McDonald's, man. I think McDonald's workers should get paid more. They making all them goddamn cheeseburgers, man. pay them McDonald's workers more money, man.
Women can do more than men can in certain aspects, and men can do more than women can in certain aspects.
So if a man is making more, it's because he's doing a job that I probably can't do.
There it is.
So can we agree that men and women are different?
Yes.
There you go.
Just like that. Just like that.
What does it mean when somebody says that's a man's job?
I think in society, it's meant to mean that it's like a more macho or...
Macho.
This is the kind of girl that you want to smack in high school.
Yeah, look how smug and condescending she is. Like, she just has all the answers, doesn't she?
like laborious job.
Please vote for me. School treasurer.
Society-wise.
Okay, what's a woman's job?
Ooh.
A woman's job is anything she wants to be.
Ooh.
I mean...
He set her up. What's a woman's job? It's anything she wants to be. Okay.
Well, wouldn't a man's job also be anything he wants it to be then?
Ooh.
In the same respect, yeah.
Oh, so it's yes for a woman, but in a man, it's the same respect. Uh-huh.
Hard work, labor.
Real talk.
Out and open.
What's a woman's job?
Cook, clean, and make sure the house is good.
Real talk.
Women want to do those jobs today?
They should.
But do they want to?
Probably not.
No,
so
sir.
why are men still expected to be what women want if women are no longer encouraged to be what men want?
It's the world we live in.
Woo!
Isn't that a world of double standards?
It is.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Mechanics.
Oh my God.
Getting your hands dirty.
I'm just gonna leave that. I'm just gonna leave that there.
Moving labor, driving trucks.
She's talking about a man's job.
The list could go on and on.
Why are women more concerned with the ratio of male to female CEOs as opposed to the ratio of lower paid, dangerous, dirty jobs done mostly by men?
I think because women who want to start their own business or want to be their own CEO are frowned upon because it's looked at that's a man's job, not a woman's job.
I'll tell you what. Let's just say I want to go get a job as a landscaper.
Okay.
It would be a lot harder for me to find a job as a landscaper than you.
Why?
Because I'll walk up and be like, yeah, I need a job. Oh, can you pick up this 50-pound bag of dirt? No. Yeah, with help. Well, you can't do this job. You know
Landscaping is hard work, man.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's also like, okay, wait, I see this person might be capable of doing this, but not as fast, not as effective.
There you go.
Not as good, doesn't have the same experience, and is probably going to complain a lot more than a man.
You said it, I didn't. Oops. Let's continue.
It's on the tip of my brain. It's like they don't.
He drops the host drops the mic on the last one. This is just the way he does this is absolute brilliance.
They don't even acknowledge that as something that makes the world go round. We're in Las Vegas. Men built all of these sky.
Black lemur, be nice.
skyscrapers, roads, there's probably some women in there, but yeah, they're just invisible to that.
That's right.
Yeah, you're standing in front of the Eiffel Tower. That was built by a man, probably. Would you rather have a high
Listen to this. This is where he drops the mic. What? Just listen to
Eiffel
this.
Tower? That was built by a man, probably. Would you rather have a high-profile job for no pay or clean sewers for $100,000 a year?
I struggle with the smell of poo.
Oh, well.
So I think a high-profile job with no pay, because when
There
you
you
think
go.
about it, it would come with incentives.
Pay your mortgage there.
I guess there's pros to both of them, but to give you a flat-out answer, I would prefer to have the high-profile job without pay, because if I was high-profile, I'd market myself to
she's got an
be
answer for
sponsored by some company.
The point is that she wouldn't work in the sewer. So he asked one. So he asked
Afraid of
one.
hard work?
He asked 2 women. Well, I don't like the smell of poo. Bitch, nobody likes the smell of poo. She's acting like there are people out there who actually, I like the smell of poo. Sign me up. No, nobody likes the
man. He loves the smell of rotting garbage.
Dude, nobody likes the smell of shit. She's acting like this. Well, me personally, I can't speak for everyone else, but I have trouble with the smell of poo. Oh my God. Get the fuck out of here.
And just keep working at it.
So he's asked 5 women this, and so far all 5 have said they'd rather take the high-profile job for no money.
And get money, get paid, do more with that platform I have.
I'm cleaning sewers for $100K, man. Ain't no shame in my game.
Damn right.
I'm cleaning sewers. There's
There it
no
is.
question about it.
Why?
More money.
Clean the sewers. I'm just going in my head. No, I'm going to clean the sewers for $100,000 a year.
Or clean sewers for $100,000 a year?
I'd rather to first one.
Okay, so wouldn't that explain why you're paid less?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it, man. That's it. He got him. Let's watch that one more time.
Okay, so wouldn't that explain why you're paid less?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you don't want to do.
Because I really don't want to do that.
No, of course
You don't
not.
want to do the dangerous, dirty jobs.
No.
No,
So
of course
could that
not.
possibly be why so many women earn less money than men?
Yep.
So is that based on discrimination or based on choice?
Oh my. Jesus Christ. The bitch on the left. Look, watch. The bitch on the left, she can't believe it. Her whole world has been turned upside down. Watch.
So is that based on discrimination or
Just
based
watch her on the
choice?
left.
And choices.
She didn't say. Look, she doesn't say anything throughout this. Just watch.
No, clean the sewers. I'm just going in my head. No, I'm going to clean the sewers
Watch,
for
watch, 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 watch.
$100,000 a year.
Or clean sewers for $100,000 a year?
I'd rather to first one.
Okay, so
would
wouldn't
you
that
rather work for nothing?
The point is that's why the earnings gap exists, because women simply aren't willing to do the jobs that men are willing to do. That's it. He absolutely, yes, Jordan Price on the YouTube site says, oh, that was an absolute diabolical setup, but this is how you notice he didn't make he made very few statements. All he did was ask questions. He asked questions.
Yep.
And he sideswiped all these bitches.
Explain
Now watch.
why
Watch the girl on the left. She didn't say a damn thing. Watch.
you're paid less?
Yeah.
Yep, look at her. Look at
You
her.
don't want to do.
Because I really don't want to do that.
You don't
Look
want
at
to
her.
do the
Look,
dangerous,
look,
dirty
look, look, look,
jobs.
look. Look at her. She's like, oh my God. I've been living a lie.
So could that possibly
Look.
be why so many women earn less money than men?
Yep.
So is that based on discrimination
Look.
or based on choice?
And choices.
There it is. There it is. You see that?